Today's video, man, I am going to talk about the playoff game between the Eagles and the Bucks last night. Now, I know I don't really do too many videos on here actually talking about like real life ball. I did something like this similar last year when the Eagles had lost the Super Bowl because, I mean, I'm an Eagles fan. A lot of you guys that watch these videos are Eagles fans. A lot of us are Eagles fans because y'all are here because the Eagles, theme team videos and all that stuff. I'm a pretty big Eagles fan, right? So I think it's only right I kind of give my little input. Now, I'll be honest, I'm a ball knower. Now, that's not the opinion I'm giving myself. That is the opinion given to me by my peers. That's that. I'm just gonna put it like that. We talk ball a lot of times on stream and stuff. So if you ever want to talk ball and stuff over there, link to this down in the description to the Twitch. Usually we're talking football and stuff, right? Hell, we even got like a podcast, so we do it like every Tuesday. So if you want to check that out, it's over on the Twitch. We're gonna talk about the Eagles and Bucks game, basically the end of the Philadelphia Eagles season. It's all over, man. A team that went to the Super Bowl last year, and by the way, I want to say I have a video. Like I said, I did a video last year when we had lost the Super Bowl, just kind of talking about it and stuff. And in that video, I actually did say we might not ever make it back to the Super Bowl. That's just a real reality. Now it sucks that I was right this year. Hopefully, I'm not, right in the long term. That would really suck, but that's actually like, it's real reality, man. Especially with how much stuff, changed with the team in the offseason and stuff. This team just literally last year went to the Super Bowl, had one of the best records in the NFL. This year they start 10-1, 10-1 coming off the Super Bowl. I mean, that just shows that we're doing things right. And then to pretty much lose out almost every single game at the end of the season and then get absolutely destroyed in the wild card by a team that we beat earlier in the season, and we actually beat them pretty good. I want to say we beat them like 25-11, which is probably one of our, I don't want to say a blowout because almost every game this season was like literally a close game, but that was probably one of our biggest, I guess you could say blowouts of the year, and they absolutely destroyed us. And look, I'm not the type of person that's going to pinpoint this all on one individual person or one individual thing, because I'll be honest, when you lose as a team. It's a team game. That's just how it is. But there's definitely a lot of different things that have kind of led to this, and one of the main reasons is the coaching staff. The coaching staff is one of the biggest reasons why the Philadelphia Eagles, fell off really so hard the last couple months. It was I'm talking about from the head coach Sirianni, offensive coordinator Brian Johnson, and the multiple defensive coordinators. But that was a big problem, right? You benched a guy in Sean Desai, and that actually splits the locker room, right? I get it, he wasn't doing the best and all that stuff, but you can't just bench your defensive coordinator like more than midway through the season, put another guy in there, because you just can't do that, man. Football is about playing with rhythm and just having chemistry with, from coaches to players and all that stuff. So, for example, benching I've never even thought about saying a word like this, but benching your defensive coordinator, that is just, I don't know if that's ever happened before, but benching your defensive coordinator, what that does is, the teams losing chemistry on the field with play calling and tendencies and just, all that stuff. It just messes up the whole rhythm. Even if they weren't, looking the best on defense, there's a reason why the defense looked even worse when Patricia started, calling plays. Now, for most of the year, if we're being honest, the defense didn't really look good. What was the main thing that, made the defense look good? The defensive line. The defensive line is literally what took us to the Super Bowl last year. Our secondary last year wasn't really the greatest. I mean, the defensive line had almost like 100 sacks last year. Now, obviously, they didn't come anywhere close to that this year, which is why you saw our secondary getting torched left and right. Because, I mean, look, if our defensive line's not getting it home, our defense gets absolutely no stops. What happened in this Tampa Bay game? If the defensive line got it home, we got it off the field. If they didn't get it home, we weren't getting off that field. The whole back-end defensive unit as a whole is just not good. I mean, Darius Slay is the bright spot. I will say that. I like Slay. He had a good year. I know people just like to, hate on people for stuff, but he had a good year. He played very good. It sucks he got hurt at the end of that playoff game. I hope he's all right because, like I said, he's really the only bright spot back there behind the defensive line. But, I mean, James Bradbury is absolute garbage. I mean, Debo said it best. He was like, that defensive line was making him look good. He wasn't lying. That man is garbage. Slot corner, has been a problem for us really the last couple years because Avonte Maddox cannot stay healthy. He's always hurt. Now, he's been a really solid slot corner for us. Now, this playoff game, he didn't play slot corner because Reed Blankenship was hurt. So he had to play safety, which if you guys remember, at first for us, he actually played safety, and he was not good at safety, and he did not look good at safety today either. So, but yeah, slot corner's been a problem because Avonte Maddox is always hurt. We bring in Roby Coleman's old ass. You know, he had his moments really look cool, but at the end of the day, I mean, look, man, he was sitting on his couch eating potato chips. We just called him up. Linebacker play for us, really the entire season was just so inconsistent. It looked really bad in that playoff game. I mean, Zach Cunningham, you know, he had his moments where it looked good, but I mean, he's definitely not the answer. Nicholas Moreau also had his moments where he looked really good, but he's definitely not the answer. Now, it's like you got Nakobe Dean, who's really supposed to be our guy. He can't stay healthy. You know what I mean? Availability is the best ability. I'll be honest. I said it last year in the draft. I really wanted us to, you know, get some type of linebacker or something. Get something, you know what I mean? Some depth or anything, because linebacker is just, man, it's a position we've been struggling with lately. Well, I mean, last year it was good. We had TJ Edwards, who I liked a lot. And then we had, what was his name? Kaiser went to the Cardinals. You know, it was actually a pretty good linebacker duo. Now it's like we got, you know, you got Shaq Leonard, who I don't even know if he played in the Bucs game. I'm not gonna lie to you, I really don't know, but I don't think he did, and I'm very glad he didn't because he looked terrible. You know, we're bringing in these old all-pro guys, and they just look. There's a reason why, you know, the team didn't want him anymore. I could see why Shaq Leonard was getting benched in Indianapolis. Kevin Byard, I mean, oh my God, we got fleeced on him, man. They tried to get us back for the AJ Brown stuff, and they got us. Then it's like, you know, Reed Blankenship, like, he's a really good tackler. Like, he's definitely the best tackler on the team. But in coverage, man, I don't know. He didn't really look the best. And then you also got to look at, you know, we didn't really have a solid defensive coordinator all year. So, you know, just all that stuff. But he was a really good tackler. And he was 100% missing this Tampa game because what is something we saw in this Tampa game? Missed tackle after missed tackle after missed tackle. I mean, I've never seen that many missed tackles. Maybe in the Eagles game in my life. Like, that was just crazy. So you put all those guys together in a pot, and it is just bad, man. It's really bad. And the guy that's the worst out of all that, I got to give it to Bradbury. Now, like I said, it's not just one guy, but in that pot, he is the dirtiest thing in that pot. And that's just really been the story the whole year on defense. If the D-line doesn't get it home, then we're not getting off the field. So that's something that's going to have to get addressed in the offseason, man. But that's essentially what happened on defense in this game. Defense got it home, we get off the field. They didn't. We weren't getting off the field. So, and you know how he is, how he wants the D-line and all that stuff, which is fine. But, I mean, we got to have a little something in that secondary, man. Obviously, they re-signed Bradbury because, you know, he went nuts last year, you know, because the defensive line made him look good. But he needs to be fired tomorrow. I'm saying tomorrow because at the time I'm recording this, he has not been fired. So let's get him out the building ASAP. That's pretty much the story on defense. It's not really, you know, one guy that lost you the game on defense. It was an entire secondary that pretty much sold the bag on defense and just terrible coaching and just the team having absolutely no rhythm. Nick Sirianni pretty much, I'm not gonna lie, I mean, he lost the locker room, man. I mean, the way they went out there and performed, man, just, I mean, obviously guys aren't going to just come out and say, yo, like, he's lost the locker room. But, you know, even all season or the last couple weeks, the last month or so, like, guys are sending out cryptic messages and just hitting weird stuff that's just kind of like, yo, like, what are we doing here? And there's a lot of good coaches right now in the market. Like, there's a lot of good coaches to go after and get, man. Like, you know, Eagles got a really good offense. Now, I haven't even talked about the offense, and trust me, there's a lot we're going to get to talk about this offense. But I wouldn't be mad if Jeffrey Lurie gets rid of Sirianni. I mean, look at Sirianni. The first year, right? We slip into the playoffs, you know what I mean? Because he gave up. Because if you guys remember that first year, he was calling offensive plays. It looked absolutely terrible. He gave up the rights to Steichen, and then we made a run and made the playoffs, and we looked really good with Jalen Hurts. The next year, Steichen's calling the plays the whole year. We went to the Super Bowl. This year, we lose Steichen. We bring, you know, Brian Johnson in, which is going to bring us to this, and he might be the worst offensive play caller I might have seen in my life. I know some of you guys might be Steelers fans, and like Matt Canada. I'm not going to lie. I think Brian Johnson gave Matt Canada an amazing run for his money. He might be the first offensive coordinator I've ever seen in my life to actually have attempted murder in an NFL game. He actually attempted to murder Jalen Hurts legally on an NFL field. Everybody knows the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Todd Bowles, they love blitzing. We played them earlier in the year. What did they do? They blitz. We played them a few years ago. What did they do? They blitz. Everybody knows what Todd Bowles does. The guy runs spinner IRL. He's running spinner IRL. He's running dollar. He's going to send pressure at you, right? So, you know, you got all week to prepare for this game. right? You got all week. You talk about it, your gameplay. Oh, at least that's what you're supposed to be doing because that's your job, right? Brian Johnson came up with the brilliant plan. You know, there's two options how to deal with a blitz. You got two options, right? You either, you set up the protection and you block the blitz, or you throw to beat the blitz. Those are your two options when it comes to beating the blitz. Brian Johnson took the route of, we're going to throw to beat the blitz. All right, that's fine. I hope to God you got some really nice route combos cooked up. Maybe some guys going around in motion and just, messing with the defense and making quick, easy reads for the quarterback. This fucking idiot, Brian Johnson. We're coming out and gun empty all game. DeAndre Swift, you're going to be a wide receiver this game. All right, buddy? We got a Chuas out here. We got Quez because Julio gets popped and, early as hell. And Julio had a couple catches. I thought, okay, Julio might do something for us. He gets hurt. He's out. So we got running backs and receiver now, right? It is a god off. We're out here in the empty. And the route, so it's like we're going to throw to beat the blitz, all right? These guys they're running spinner. They're pressing guys at the line. And what are we doing, man? We're running 10-yard hitches that are getting pressed into the dirt in streaks. It's either a straight line or it's a straight line and you stop. And Jalen Hurts is literally just dropping back like, fuck it, man. He's just launching that bitch. Fucking 3rd and 7. He wants Jalen Hurts to drop back and just, fucking, man, hook that bitch up to Quez Watkins. He might catch it. No, the fuck he's not. There's something out there you can find, because I've seen it a couple times after a few of our games. It's an image that shows basically where all of our routes went every single play. And if you just if you get to witness to see the routes every play that man is putting on the field, like, it's actually insane how he has a job and he is allowed to walk into the fucking link. Brian Johnson doesn't motion receivers. He just runs he doesn't do anything exotic to mess with the defense. Like, what was our scheme this year? Were we a team that ran the ball or a team that throw the ball? What did we do? Last year with Steichen, we had an identity. We were a triple option football team. A lot of people say it's an RPO. It was an RPO scheme. It's really more of a triple option. You could have triple option with the RPO. We were a triple option football team, and it was a legit scheme. But Brian Johnson, man, I literally feel like he sees the first play. It's like Coach adjusts a man. He sees the first play. He's like, we'll do that. And it's the same goddamn route combos over and over and over. Remember when AJ Brown was like, yeah, we're just getting too predictable. Like, for a player on your own team to say something like that, do you understand how crazy that is? Like, that's actually insane for a player that's running these routes to literally basically come out to the meeting and be like, yo, this is like, everybody knows what we're doing, because we see it. I know what you're running. He's running the streak, or he's just going to run a 10-yard hitch. It's the same thing over and over, man. Like, I just never seen nothing like that in my life. The point I'm making is, offensively, we had the weapons to get the job done. The problem is the guy calling the plays did not allow the weapons to really have a chance at all, which is really sickening. You got a guy like DeAndre Swift. I know a lot of people are like, just run the ball, but they don't really know what they're talking about. In reality, you got a really good offensive line that didn't really play their best ball this year. But you got a guy, DeAndre Swift, who's really good. And, the reason why our run game sometimes didn't look very good, even though sometimes the season did look really good, but sometimes it didn't, it's because, we're not, like, you can see some of these are literally the same run plays over and over and over. And the point I'm making is, Brian Johnson is a fucking idiot. Like, we had the weapons offensively to win this game. Now, we were a little banged up in the wide receiver position. Obviously, we were missing AJ Brown and Julio got hurt, so we didn't really have the greatest weapons out there. But, last time we played Tampa, what did we do? We ran the ball on them. And I know, with some plays, Swift popping off, and in some plays he didn't. I feel like if you truly want to, there's a couple different options if you want to run the ball. You got how Steichen kind of did it last year, where it was a legit triple option offense, and it wasn't just the same thing over and over. It was different things, guys moving around. A whole lot of stuff was happening, right? This year, it just wasn't. There's no scheme involved, man. It was just, stuff was happening. You just, it wasn't legit. It wasn't authentic. And I feel like if you're gonna run the ball, man, two ways about it. Like I said, you go the Steichen route, and you really make a shotgun offense out of triple option, or you get under center and you run the ball and you set the play out like a real play action, not that shotgun play action shit. That doesn't work. A real play action where you go under center and you play fake it. That, you know what I mean? That's a real play action. Enough about Brian Johnson. We've talked about him enough, man. Hopefully that guy is, you know, at my local Walmart soon, because that I don't even know if I don't even know if he could bag a cart, man. I'll be honest with you, but Devontae Smith absolutely balled out, man. Stepped up with no AJ Brown. I've always been a little bit more of a Devontae Smith fan than an AJ Brown fan. I just kind of always have been. I love Smitty. I'm a big Smitty guy. So I was really glad to see him ball out. He did it pretty much on one ankle. Shout out my boy Smitty, man. So at least he was really the guy that really showed up. Now, offensive line wise, I mean, they weren't like, oh, the offensive line's not blocking. I mean, the plays where, you know, Tampa didn't blitz, they held up really good. The plays where they blitzed, I mean, that's not on the offensive line's fault. They're sending more people than we have blocking. That's just stupid. And we're in empty. There's no extra guy to go help Jalen Hurts block. There was a couple times in the run game where we got shedded like crazy, but once again, like if you look at some of these runs, man, it's just the same thing over and over. So the defenses, you know, at times they're just ready for it. You know what I mean? If you're gonna run the ball, you gotta really put something behind it, man. So that's my take on that. I actually like DeAndre Swift. Obviously, he's gonna be a free agent. To be honest with you, he's probably not going to come back after this whole situation, which sucks because I actually really liked him. So don't know what's gonna happen there. Jalen Hurts in this game. It's so hard. You know, I'm a big Jalen Hurts guy. I've been big on him since we drafted him. But I know how to, you know, I don't just say, oh, a guy sucks just to say they suck. If he sucks, he sucked. In this game, man, was there throws he missed? Yes. Was just, you know, times he, like, when I say missed a throw, I mean, like, legit, like, missed the read. Like, that guy was open, he didn't hit him. Or, you know, sometimes did he actually just missed a throw? Like, inaccurate, yes, in this game. But at the end of the day, I mean, for what he was given, having to literally get the ball out as soon as the ball hit his hands, I thought he did the best he could, man. I mean, I don't know what you want the guy to do, man. I mean, guys are just flat out not open. I mean, he's dropping back. He's already about to get sacked, and he has to, like, there's a screenshot literally where the ball literally just hits his hand from the snap. He's already about to get sacked, and if you look at the field, like, no one's open, and half the guys aren't even looking for the ball. So it's like, what is he supposed to do? Like, I just don't know what you want him to do, man. Is, you know, you can't blame him for it. You just really can't. And I know, you know, this was as good as a season it was for him last year. No, but I mean, he still had a really good season. Like, if you look at the games we won, I mean, it was because of him. He was the reason why we won games. We don't win. You have Marcus Mariota in these games, we are not winning. I'm not saying Jalen Hurts doesn't deserve some of this blame, because look, there was some games where he's turned the ball over and, you know, he's thrown some bad passes. I mean, that Jets game, I mean, he lost us that game. You know what I mean? Things like that. But this game, I don't know how much I can really put it on him this game. It's just really hard to, man. You know what I mean? I know the casual viewer is going to look at it and be like, oh, Jalen Hurts just did absolutely nothing against the blitz. I mean, what is he supposed to do? I get it. He's getting paid a lot of money. He's got to be able to make these plays and stuff, but it was out of his control, man. It's really something he just absolutely could not control. I've never seen just a game called that bad in my life, man. I hope to God I never have to see that again either. So Jalen Hurts is a part of the blame for, I would say, stuff in the regular season. I just don't know how much I can blame him in this playoff game, but put the whole thing together, man. You know, a little banged up on offense. Absolutely god-awful scheme they tried to pull off against the Buccaneers, and then it's a lot they got to work on, man. I feel like you get rid of the O coordinator, you get rid of the D coordinator. If you can legit go get yourself like a Mike Vrabel or one of these really good coaches, hardball out there, and bring him in a head coach, then you get rid of. You might have to get rid of Sirianni regardless, though, man, because the way this thing folded out, man, guys might not want to come to Philly, because if they see Sirianni there, they're gonna be like, I don't want that. But if you see, you know, new face in there, so you might have to get him out of there just off that. This was absolutely probably one of the worst downfalls of any NFL team, probably in NFL history. I don't know if a team's ever started 10-1 and just went out as bad as the Eagles did. Now, I know there was that season with the Steelers, but they didn't go out like this. All right, they absolutely did not go out like this. Like, this is probably this is going to be in NFL history is the biggest, like, just what the hell happened. hopefully we get some stories in the offseason and we can just know the whole thing, because we need to know what happened. At the end of the day, man, you know, the Eagles lost this game because of stuff that lingered around the entire season, that after every game they said the same thing. They said, we're going to get this done, we're going to get this fixed. It never got done, it never got fixed, because that is just truly who this team was, which I'm not going to lie, after a while, I mean, I think most of us kind of noticed, like, you know, they kept saying, like, we're gonna play our best game, this, that. And after a while, you kind of, like, realized, I don't think you guys are. This is who y'all are. But hopefully, man, next year, I'm hoping we see a lot of changes in the coaching staff department. I'm really hoping. Who knows, man? This could have been Jason Kelsey's last game. Possibly could have been Fletcher Cox's last game. It's not Brandon Graham's last. I don't think it's his last game, because he already said he wants to run it back with Philly. So he'll probably come back on, like, some really cheap deal or something. Probably, because he said he wants, like, 1 more year as, like, a farewell tour, which I'm fine with having him come off the bench. He was, like, actually really good for us off the bench, and he was actually a beast for us in the playoff game, so I'm perfectly fine with it. He's still, you know, got a high motor. He's playing really good, and he's a locker room guy. He's someone you want in there, so I'm fine with bringing him back. We're just going to have to really wait till this offseason, man. You guys let me know, Eagles fans, what do you think about this season? What's your thoughts on the playoff game, and what do you think we should do this offseason, man? And who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl? I'll tell you right now, my Super Bowl prediction, I got Baltimore coming out of AFC, and I'm going to go with the Packers at the NFC, man. I just feel like that boy Jordan Love is hot, man. I think he hit, like, what was it? Like, it was the 18-to-1 touchdown ratio, like his last however many games going into the playoffs. That obviously went way up with the playoff game, so he's just playing too good, man. I'll be honest, I'm just really not sold on the Niners. My thing with them is, if the Niners just go down a little bit, man, it's done. They just can't play from behind. I saw a stat one time. I think Kyle Shanahan, if he's down going into the fourth quarter, I don't remember what it said that his, like, record was, but, like, he had never won or some shit. Also, let me know in the comments if you guys want to see, like, more videos in general with me just kind of talking about the Eagles. I know I don't really do it a whole lot. We just kind of talk about Madden and Mutt and all that stuff, but I'm pretty in tune with, you know, the Eagles. So if you guys, you know, want me to talk about the Birds and give you my perspective on a lot of stuff, because I do feel like I have a kind of a unique perspective. I'm all about accountability and responsibility, man. I don't ever just say, you know, oh, this is that. Like, for example, like, you could watch my video last year, like when we lost the Super Bowl. Like, everyone's like, oh, Bradbury lost the game with the home penalty. It's not even that, man. It's a multitude of things that make you lose a football game. It's never just one thing. In this game, what happened to lose us the game is the absolutely god-awful dog shit game plan that Brian Johnson put together out on the field. Our secondary just being absolutely atrocious, guys, you know, not being able to cover and fly, and our defense, our head coach just losing the locker room. Our defensive coordinator, the second guy might have been worse than the first guy. We don't know. There's no rhythm. Just, it was a whole, honestly, we lost the game before we walked on the field, because the locker room was lost in the locker room. So we lost the thing before we got on the field. Going back to the Super Bowl, like, we lost the Super Bowl, right? There was a lot of things. You had the second half, the defense couldn't stop a nosebleed. Now, I know everyone's going to say, oh, well, you know, the field was slippery, this, that. Well, it wasn't slippery in the first half because we was getting a lot of pressure, and the Chiefs were playing on the same field as us. So it's even playing field, right? Also, you know, we had big turnover there by Jalen Hurts, which resulted in a touchdown going the other way for the Chiefs. It's crazy how I remember all this stuff. But the Isaac Samalo holding that led to the Jalen Hurts turnover. The 4th and 2 or 4th and 1 punt by Sirianni in the second half that was uncharacteristic. He should have went for it. There's just so much stuff. Then there's the Bradbury holding. You know what I mean? I remember the whole thing because I'll never forget it. But at the end of the day, man, you got to remember, like, hey, look, man, we don't play for the Eagles. They don't write our checks. So at the end of the day, you just got to remember, like, yo, we're not actually on the team. We just got to enjoy the good. And when the bad happens, it is what it is, man. So like I said, if you guys want me to do more videos talking about the Eagles, just drop a like, let me know down in the comments. And what do you think about this Eagles season and what happened in the playoff game? It's unfortunate what happened, but it happened. That's pretty much all I got to say in this one. I know we got the squads gameplay in the background. I've been playing a lot of squads. Well, actually, I haven't played Madden since that last gameplay I posted the day before that. So I'm going to try to start grinding a little bit of Madden this season starting this week to get this thing going. Till the next time, boys. See you on the next one.